I just read the first 10 chapters of Light of the Jedi. This is the new Star Wars High Republic series, the first book within the series. First of all, fantastic cover art. And this is not a review. This is a first impressions of something that I read. I do not want to review this book, but take this as my review of the book. This is a book I feel like everyone should read if you're a Star Wars fan. If you've never gotten on the Star Wars books, here's your chance. Because I would say to read this book, you probably should at least watch the prequels and the original Star Wars trilogy. That's all you need to know to understand this book. I say that because the prequels give you context of some of the things that they talk about, even though this is set before the prequels. And then the original trilogy is kind of the foundation of what Star Wars is, and both of those also include a character. I'm not going to say what character, who appears a little bit throughout the story. He's not a major force within it. What this series of books is going to be about is we are in a time of peace in the galaxy. The Jedi rule over the galaxy, basically. And it's just a time of peace. And it's about kind of what goes on within that and some of the conflicts that start to arise. Now, this is about 200 or so years before the prequels. So, and what's nice about it is, first of all, you open it up, you get that beautiful piece. I'm trying to, there it is. And let me get the page here. Right here is a timeline of how the High Republic fits into Star Wars canon of books. The new era of canon books. So that doesn't include like this stuff that's like legends and stuff. But yeah, that's kind of neat. But yeah, this book is very good. It introduces a lot of characters and a lot of stuff. And that could be its downfall. It could do that poorly. But after reading the first 10 chapters of this book, it does an excellent job of making you like, care, or at least want to know more in future books and stories of these characters. Because you can see them dropping hints that maybe this character won't be expanded upon in this story, but the next book, which doesn't come out until June, could be expanded on. And this book is running about $18 to $20. I think you should read it for yourself. This is a whole new era of canon never been explored in the Star Wars universe. And if you don't jump on it now, it's going to be harder to get into because, of course, it's going to be a series of books and TV shows and possibly movies and all that type of stuff. And so, I mean, none of the TV shows and movies have been officially announced, but they're very talked about as a huge possibility if these do well, if these books do well, if all that stuff does well. And that could very much be a possibility. So I think now's the perfect time to get into this. I think this is a really interesting concept because, you know, with a lot of stories, they don't like to explore time of peace and what goes on in that because it sounds boring. But I think they do a great job of making sure there's conflict in the story that's interesting. And that doesn't mean like, oh, the galaxy is falling apart, you know, or they're building to the events of the galaxy falling apart, right? You know, so it is, you know, things like that. So it's not like Clone Wars or stuff like that. You're building to this event where the galaxy falls apart, and then there's the rebellion and all these different things. No, it's just a time of peace and what goes on, and the conflicts that arise, and you see the faults and kind of the Jedi Order that led to the prequels a little bit in here. That you kind of see that and have a new perspective on this too, and that interested some stuff. I'm not going to spoil anything But yeah, that's why I'm kind of doing a first impressions, is because there's a lot in this book, and I don't want to spoil what's in the book. I think you should just go read this book. It is fantastic. This was $18 last I checked on Amazon, which is more than worth it for a hardcover book like this. It's very pretty, and I'm excited to read the rest of it when I have the time to dive into the rest of it. This is going to be a very, very, very exciting book for me to dive into soon. But yes, I will be kind of doing the next book like this possibly when that book comes out. And I will probably be pre-ordering that book before it comes out in June. So